Yeah, so let's begin, I guess, with the big show that happened last Sunday, War Games.
War games, yeah.
It was
Wow.
it was interesting. I know we did our predictions. We were,
I
I
was
guess,
off.
we were off, but I feel like some of the stuff
Way
it wasn't like a
off.
swerve or nothing, but there was some stuff that I was just like, okay, it's
Left
some of the stuff
field.
makes sense, but I appreciate the setup. I know you like a good beginning, good middle, good end. I
I
think
was due.
this pay-per-view showed it for us. They had a good beginning. They started with a war game, then filler sort of.
Mm,
Then they had another war games match at the end, which was good. Which was
Very balanced.
the match. I think the card was good. I think the first one they had, it was the women's war games. It was Team Shotzi against Team Shotzi against Candice LeRae. Team Candice LeRae.
Oh man, what a left field on that one. Because like my pick was the Shotzi, Emma Moon, EO, and Ripley. That was my pick in my prediction. And when I saw that, what's homegirl name again? Indy or something like
In
that.
the in the black heart. Oh, in
Oh
the
my
Hardwell,
god.
the helper. Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
yeah
Oh, that
in the
was such a
review.
disappointment.
For those who could go back, I was like, I picked the other team. I picked team what is it,
Look,
team
look, right?
Candice LeRae. And I said it kind of
Good
at the
pick.
end. I was like, I think the X factor might be it might be 5-4. I think Indy Hardwell. I
Mm,
know she was injured, but she helped out on the Wednesday before, and I'm like, she's not just gonna help just on Wednesday. She's also gonna help. I feel like this one. So it was a good story.
it
Um,
was.
but they've been building for this pay per view for like basically Ember Moon came back. That was
Hmm.
a good, basically, I think from the one before Halloween Havoc. So Ember Moon returned. Then you had Tony Storm also returning and turning
Beautiful.
heel, which is great. That I feel like that what NXT needed. But
A
imagine
great
all
heel
those
turn.
people that were in the cage are contenders for Io Shirai,
They are.
which is
Except
crazy.
the one that came out more on top is Raquel. Raquel is
Hmm.
the one who pinned our champion. And instead of focusing on the champion, she's going to be focusing now on Ripley, if you guys been up to par with NXT. So it's really interesting that instead of making Io more of a face,
Hmm.
in the division, Ripley's still the star, regardless.
Yeah.
Is belt or no belt is Ripley, and I'm glad that Raquel is going to have this push. I'm hoping Ripley is willing to work with her and make her look good for EO in the near future. But it's definitely looking really interesting for the women division in NXT.
Yeah, and I think you even mentioned it for your review that they had a bunch of spots. Io Shirai went crazy when she put the garbage can over her and she dove. I was
Oh,
like, yo, that's crazy. Like it, I don't think that
come
should be
on.
replicated. That should just stay as it is. It's like it was amazing.
You got to keep in mind, Io Shirai is like the Kofi Kingston and Royal Rumble. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? When it comes to war games, because you never know what type of like crazy stunt she's gonna pull. Remember last year, she did a freaking moonsault from the top of the cage, and it was like
Yeah,
beautiful. During, I think it was Halloween Havoc or in your house.
yeah. She drove
She
from yeah.
you know what I'm saying? She
Hmm.
she does these stunts. So when I see Io Shirai in any type of stipulation match, all I could think of is like she's going to do something freaking extreme,
Yeah,
and she did not deliver. It was kind of whack. I'm not gonna lie, the trash bin, it was kind of whack, but it was a little bit extreme.
yeah.
So I got to give her props for
The
that.
only thing I didn't like about before I continue, the only thing I didn't like about this War Games, I like that the team that they had was good, but I feel
Yep.
like they had no women's championship contender or defending. There was no
Mm-mm.
cruiserweight, and there was
Mm-mm.
also no tag team. And it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
I know the
Yep.
focus was War Games itself, but it's just like
Yep.
you have three titles are not being defended, and it's just like it was kind of tough. But I'm like, I guess they had to. Cause I know that they have a lot of injuries and stuff, but
They
it was
do.
just like I was just missing out on the title just to make it more kind of not more
Well,
important, but it's War Games.
Well, if we transition to the next match, we had Tommaso Ciampa versus Timothy Thatcher.
Mm-hmm.
Both are previous champion in respective division. And like you said, we didn't have Finn Balor, we didn't have defense for the women's championship or the tag team. So they did brought some A+ player in a sense to work with a C or B level player, and I think that match was pretty well done. You know what I'm saying? They really work well together. I like the technical moves that they pulled throughout the match. And like we predicted, Ciampa did came out with the W, which was more sad. That brought more satisfaction.
True.
For the event.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of like there was the battle of the gatekeepers. I feel like everybody who's trying to make it to any title picture per se, they have to go through these people. So which is good, but I feel like Tommaso, this was like a tune-up match for eventually going for the title. I don't think the title picture is looking crazy how it is now, but I feel like eventually he'll get it. And Thatcher, I feel like he should focus on the North American. I feel like he could get it.
Well, talking about the North American, I mean, that was one of the match for War Games where it was a triple threat match between Johnny Gargano, Priest, and the previous champion, Leon Ruff. I was hoping Ruff was going to be able to obtain the belt, you know what I'm saying? But my gosh, Austin Theory being involved in this? Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, I was expecting somebody else. And I'm like, yo, I feel like if he keeps doing this, I hope he like recovers from this, but I feel like he's been stuck as like a follower. And the couple of times he's been in a group, it hasn't fit in. He was with Selena Vega, that didn't work out. He was with Seth Rollins, that didn't work out. Let's see if he's now with Gargano, that works out, but I don't know how that's going to look.
Well, keep in mind, I'm not sure. I don't recall much of why with the Selena stable it didn't work well. Okay. But I do recall with the Seth Rollins had to do with the accusation that he was dealing with outside of the ring. So that was a really big impact. And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, it's like you said, he is definitely placed more of a supporter type of role than a phase of main focus. So with Johnny Gargano, what I'm hoping to see with the way now is I'm hoping that we get a tag team belt for that stable in the near future, if it's possible. But if not, I mean, like War Games, that match, it was okay. Not the greatest, but it was okay. It was just a little shock to see Austin Theory join in Johnny Gargano. That I think that was the biggest surprise.
Yeah, I was expecting somebody else because I know Austin Theory came back, between him coming back until basically last Sunday, they had a couple of recruits come through. So I was hoping that would have been a good time for the new recruits. Most of them came from Evolve. And I was expecting somebody, most of them, I feel like they're already polished to be enough on TV. I was expecting the former Evolve champion or somebody else to partake in this. But it's Austin Theory. Let's see what happens. I know he's trying to, reintroduce himself into everything, because he was winning at first, then he went, then everything happened. So maybe his image might clear out. I thought, even Velveteen Dream, I even thought maybe he could have been part of, you know what I'm saying? Maybe of the, because he that's something that he lost. So I was hoping somebody of that, but it's Austin Theory. So I'm like, all right, whatever. That continues since.
I mean, Halloween, if we want to talk about a little shocker too, I think it was maybe depending on when this is being aired. A week or two on main event, freaking Ryder is now with Elias. It's
that's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, like another shocker, because like out of all people to try to build or bring back, we're going to bring out like people who have been trouble with like, accusation and like being culture canceled too. It's just like, wow, like yeah,
but what's also I feel like I don't want to be too stereotypical about things, but I feel like WWE, especially for him, took kind of like out of sight, out of mind, because they took him for a while out of TV. So I was like, okay, so we forgot about him. Then we have him coming back. So I don't know. I feel like WWE recovered from other things. We had like other controversy. We had the whole Hogan situation. He came back. He was forgiven. Then we had the Lars Sullivan drama. He left, came back, and now we haven't seen him in a while. But there's a lot of things going on, especially like I guess will be things outside of the scope of work that they've allowed them to continue in the show. So I feel like if they have nothing crazy I feel like they could always come back, but them being canceled by the culture, I feel like it was good to be out of sight of mind for a minute, because so people could finish. Because I feel also everything when he said it was at the prime of everything, election and everything. So I feel like that's done for. I feel like people are not more forgiving, but it's just like, and it also main event, people don't watch that often, so that's a way to introduce him back into the fold.
Yeah, not for it to be like the main focus of the conversation. It was more like a sidebar, but it's just shocking of like how WWE works. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the election with I don't think people are going to be that forgiving. You know what I'm saying? But if he is able to deliver a good package in the near future, then I agree with your statement. But for now, it's like, please do not bring him anywhere near the main show for a long, long time. Because for me, it's just like this guy, I don't see no hope for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it is what it is.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
And lastly, we had kind of taking things.
Wait. Don't forget about the Dexter Lumis match.
Oh yeah,
sorry. Grimes.
The strap match, Dexter Lumis, and that was. I feel like it was okay. I feel like I think I picked Cameron Grimes for that one. I just wanted him to be done with this feud. I feel this is a good way to be done how it ended, but this was kind of a follow up of what we saw in Halloween Havoc because it wasn't continuous. So I feel like this is a good way to be done with this, but I think it's going to continue.
It's going to show us that things are may elevate in a bit for I think you said it in your prediction is like we could see a more level up for each competitors. You know what I'm saying? We could see Lumis being more of a challenge for the North American alongside with you mentioned one and his name just escaped Priest, I think you said, or Austin Theory to focus on the belt, and then Grimes, in a sense, could try to either go for a tag team or could go for a, more of a FaceTime, more TV time in NXT so people could start to love him and, enjoy his presence.
Yeah. And I'm also kind of like, side note, I'm also surprised that, like, if you think about it, 90% of NXT are under 205 pounds. So they could go for the cruiser. Like, no, there's no cruiserweight anything, you know what I'm saying? Like Gargano, I don't think it's not a downgrade, but I feel like Gargano has won the NXT. He's won the North American. The only thing he's missing is the cruiserweight. He could be a Grand Slam sort of in NXT. I feel like it could be competitive because I feel like nobody even Ciampa as well. He's I think 203 or 201 or something. They said it on War Games. I'm like, that's a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
So it's just like they should just like be in the mix just to make it more, especially for that division, make it more interesting. Because I think that division really have like 4 people, and
interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like Drake Maverick. Okay, then we have Scott, Jake Atlas. Who else? I think that's about it that we've seen.
Escobar.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Everybody else, that's what Escobar is a cruiserweight, but they with him. So unless they turn on him, like, so it's not being utilized.
Leon Ruff.
That could be a good for him, especially for that one.
Oh yeah, because like I think a way you could really push him even further, and he does need the money for the wedding now that he proposed to his fiance. Cruiserweight definitely looked good for him as well. So NXT definitely have a lot of great possibility for us for 2021. We just gotta see how the cards are going to be played. You know what I'm saying? So. With that being said, let's go into it. The final one, like who was it? How it went?
The Undisputed Era. The era continues. I feel like that we haven't seen the turnover of a new leaf, but so we have Undisputed Era against Ted McAfee. So McAfee, it's Birch, Lorcan, Pete Dunne, and Pat McAfee. So it was good. McAfee impressed me. He's getting better. I know he's just been doing spots, but I feel like he's earned my trust as being a competitor.
You took the hat for him?
Yeah, instead of like being a cameo or some certain spots, but I feel like especially a match of this, hardcore match inside a cage, I feel like he gave it his best, especially the spot that he did, that he was a moonsault. It was great. So I wanted Pat McAfee to kind of like get rid of Undisputed Era. And we kind of from to continue over for them to go to Raw, SmackDown, or whatever, or disband. But
that was division.
Yeah, I guess the Undisputed Era continues. So
it's not a disappointment, but it's just not too satisfying that we're not going to see Undisputed Era in the red or the blue brand anytime soon. Maybe it's like what Gargano and Ciampa once said in an interview. It's like, NXT is like competing and it should be respected in the same level as SmackDown and Raw. So it definitely showed that, NXT is still willing to work with some solid people. And once they have like a new foundation for NXT, then, what I'm saying, they could start to let go. And especially Royal Rumble coming in January, we might see that change.
Cool.
So, as you guys heard, if you made it this far, thank you for sticking around with us. If you did not, then hey, you missed out on a great ending. Again, you know where to find us. We're on the YouTube, we're on the Facebook, we're on the Insta, we're on Twitter. The Providence Lucha Talk. Thank you again for everybody who's been supporting us when we was absent, and we're hoping to come up with a new scheduling that's going to be flexible for us to be able to accommodate and be able to continue this hustle. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Luisito, any final words from your end?
No, I would say make sure like, share, subscribe to all our social media. And we'll try to get something. I don't know, scheduling. I know it's been crazy, but COVID and life. But we're here talking wrestling, and we'll always be here talking about wrestling.
Definitely. So till this time, my name is Jay Aguila.
It's Luisito.
And we say peace.
See ya.